let's kick off then for today. So, welcome everybody. My name's Michel Chung. I'm the SVP at ChatLabs, looking after sales marketing. Today, we want to share some exciting news with you about our latest product launch and how to use that to create real-time personalized campaigns in China. So, first and foremost, you probably all know us as a marketing one of our solutions, a marketing solution originally focused predominantly on WeChat, mainly a social CRM. So using that to manage just your WeChat followers and your broadcast, etc. But over the last couple of years, we've been evolving that platform into a real-time CDP. So aggregating more channels, more data than just social CRM. So what does CDP do in China? I get this question a lot. So there's a lot of difference between West and East when it comes to that. So a lot of you will have a CRM database in the West. So you will have predominantly customers in there. So it's people that have purchased from you and you have their email and the consent to market to them, right? And there might be a few prospects in there, people that sign up to a newsletter or participate in a campaign. But usually it's like 90% customers and 10% prospects. And that's sort of the total CRM database. In China, people tend to use the same processes, but in a CDP for a much wider set of marketing activations. The database is completely flipped. So rather than having thousands of customers, you actually have millions of users in your CDP in China. And the reason for that is because you can ingest data from social media in China into your own database. And this is something unique to China because social media is first-party data, which means that brands can access that data from the backend services using their marketing tools and suck in all that information into their database. So imagine being able to just go to Instagram or Twitter or your Facebook page and downloading all of your followers with all of their details. That's kind of possible in China. So that means that the data that you have on your customers in China is actually 90% people that are prospects by signing up to a campaign or something, people that are just fans of the brands on social media, and then a percentage is customers. But the database is far, far bigger because of that aggregation. And as we aggregate data in China, a different kind of funnel is used to get people to become customers, right? In the West, we're very used to driving ads to people, to an anonymous audience. We try to push them towards a website where they're still anonymous, and we try to convert them there until they become a customer, and then we know something about them. But we only know about their purchase and not necessarily everything that happened beforehand. Whereas in China, the funnel is more about first you get all the your fans into your database, you nurture through communications with those fans to get them to become a prospect, where you learn a bit more data about them, such as their behavior, their personal details, and then they eventually become a customer. But you can really track the user at an individual level using a CDP throughout that entire process. So this is what we've been trying to really gear our product up to doing, right? So first thing that we're doing is we consume all of the touch points in China. So we're connecting all of the social channels, such as WeChat, such as WeCom, such as Weibo. But we also help brands by connecting custom data from marketplaces, from their own CRM database. So all of that data flows into the CDP in real time. And then what we're also doing is we're recording everything that those users are doing. So different social media have different levels of access in terms of the data that you're getting. For Weibo, we can, for example, see what people are commenting on, what people like. With the WeChat official account, we know when they follow, when they scan QR codes, what links they click on. And with mini programs, we can pretty much track everything from what products that they're looking at, what they're looking at, what they're adding to cart. And with WeCom, we can see the connections that they have with the sales associates in stores or in person, and the conversation that they're having with them. So we record all of that, and then we unify that into a single view. So it's obviously you have all these different channels and they have different IDs. So what our CDP does as well is, where possible, we try and match the IDs and phone numbers of these individual profiles, and we create a single unified profile for that user, such as the example here. And then we can see this is what they're doing on Weibo, on the mini program, on WeCom, on the official account, etc. So the channels that we've already have been supporting, we've connected them all into the CDP. So obviously the official account, everyone that follows, scans, clicks, messages the official account. The different mini programs, a lot of people have a store, but also campaign mini programs. So we can see the moment they open it, how many people open it, which individuals opened it, what products that they looked at, what wish list they have, what basket they have, what they've purchased, etc. And then for WeCom, which is the professional version of WeChat used by sales associates, we can see if that individual user has connected to any of the sales staff or service staff, whether or not they have conversations, whether or not their data has been captured by the sales associate, and we can see all of the content that the sales associate has been sharing and how the consumer is responding to that. So that was already, we've already pushed all of that into that unified profile. And next, we've connected two new ones, one for data aggregation predominantly, which is Weibo, one of the other very popular channels in China, where people have lots and lots of users. So it's super valuable to pull those into the CDP and obviously try to nurture those people to becoming prospects as well. And then we've added a new activation channel as well, which is domestic SMS in China, where we support different kind of SMS messages, the standard text messages, but also a new format in China, which is called Super SMS, which has overtaken sort of MMS. So it's which is more like video, pictures, and many more characters that you can send via the SMS channel. This is very important because what we see a lot is that people might follow the WeChat official account, and then they might browse the mini program, but sometimes they then unfollow the account. And then you can't message them anymore because you can only message their followers, but they might not want to get spammed too much in terms of the content. So if you manage to capture their phone number at any given point during those interactions, you can have a fallback to SMS instead of WeChat message for the people that are using the mini programs, but are not following the official account, for example. Now, the other thing we want to do is help brands with their global platform. So we're, as all of you probably know, we're big partners with Salesforce. We have connectors into Marketing Cloud and Service and Sales Cloud. And we want to help those brands by connecting the data that we share, that we gather locally in China in real time, and push that into Salesforce for the with our pre-built connectors. So people that want to use that data in a compliant manner through Marketing Cloud or even in their core CRM, we can push all of that, any of the information that we just talked about that we gather, we can push that into Salesforce or other systems as well. Of course, we try and support also the PIPL requirements in that process. And we do that through anonymizing some of the data before it gets processed. So the data will stay de-anonymized on our side, so you can do personalized messaging, etc. But in a global system outside China, certain individuals might not have access to the sensitive personal data to help support the compliance requirements. Now, if you have all of that data and you're getting that in real time, how do brands really use that data to drive revenue? How do you monetize that, right? So what we're seeing is that there's multiple stages in terms of the maturity of the brands that we work with. So initially, you might just have a 1 or 2 social media accounts like WeChat or Weibo. You're not doing any segmentation or personalization or triggers. You're just sending your 4 broadcasts a month, right? And you're not really pushing hard to increase that customer pool with other data. Sales contribution tends to be quite minimal. There's some, but that's sort of the starting point where everybody begins. Next, so the next stage for that, if you wanted to involve a bit more, you connect a few more data sources. You start sending personalized content now. So you would create maybe up to 4 segments based on the behavioral data that we're getting in. So we know that give me all the people that looked at this particular product group, or people that are customers, or people that are not customers. So create different segments and use different content to personalize the broadcast and template messages or SMS to them in a different manner. So you already see that the sales contribution gets a lot better as you work with a bit more richer data and a bit more larger percentage of the customer pool. And then you can evolve around that into more segments, fully personalized journeys, more triggers as well. So not just sending campaigns at a regular interval, but continuously interacting with the customer based on what they do. So when they ask them, added as someone, when they visited a store, do an instant follow-up with exactly what they looked at on that particular visit. If they went online and looked at a few products, a few days later, send them a broadcast that's around that particular, around those products or around that content group, right? So that's how people really evolve in their maturity on the platform. So if we have all that 360 data from both the stores, through WeCom, as well as online, through the social channels, as well as the different mini programs that you can get the data in, how do you then use all of that information to create different journeys, 360 journeys in real time? So if you wanted to do an automation that says, I don't know, someone went to the store, they looked at a few products, I want to send them a message after the visit of the store within an hour, telling them which products they saw that day, for example. So real omni-channel orchestration. So we've designed a new journey builder into our product today, which is now available for the people who want to upgrade to the latest version. And that allows us to do all the journey management, branching, etc., for those users. So what can you now do? Sorry, just let this build up. We can start building up journeys that are a bit more sophisticated, rather than just the standard broadcast that we used to be able to support. So we already supported personalized broadcasts, but now we can really orchestrate the journey across the different touch points. So they might start with an ad on WeChat. You might then send them to a mini program. We might track whether or not they registered on that mini program. And if they did, then we send them down a loyalty path with more personalized communications around the content and the products that they've looked at. If they haven't registered, maybe we do send them down a different journey based on with trying to send more registration reminders, benefits, these kinds of things, or push them maybe into a store. So previously we only supported the broadcast, but now we can really create these orchestrated journeys, right? So the different elements that are now in the platform. So please contact your account manager or sales teams if you if you're not a customer yet, to see a demo of the latest solution. We can now do all the triggered entries. So based anything that happens across all the activities that we track can be now an entry to a journey. So it could be following the official account, could be clicking a particular link, could be scanning a QR code at an offline event, could be connecting to sales associates and visit a store. Each of those things can be now the start of a journey. Then we can split those users based on the segment. So the segments can be based obviously on past purchase behavior, but also probably more importantly on their active behavior, right? Is this a segment that's looking for a gift yesterday? Is this someone that was looking at particular products? Is there someone just talking to a sales associate around the quotes or something? So we can split the segment in the journey based on their interest. Obviously, we can then do the message send orchestration, and again, we can decide what is the best channel to send them a message on, right? Based on the particular profile. Would the best be a WeChat message, or they don't follow the official account, but we do have them as an opted-in user, so we send them an SMS, or they might be connected to a sales associate already, so we can, rather than send the message from the brand, we can have a message being automated directly from their personal sales associate who they're already connected to. So we can really decide at every point, like what's the best activation. Now, because there's all these different ways that you can activate, we also make sure that we have some flow control functions. So allowing us to monitor if we're not over communicating with the customer through the different channels. So that's now also available in the solution. So that's really it for today in terms of the product update, latest feature. So in summary, we're now connecting to more channels. We're unifying all of the data across those channels, and we now have an orchestration tool available for people who want to build the 360 journeys with ChatLabs marketing, and powered by the data flow real-time interactions. So thank you very much for your time today. And yeah, if you have any questions, please don't feel free to reach out to us. Thank you. Bye-bye.